Shalom, like give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, like give double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing his word across the four corners of the earth. This is an article from theroot.com, and the title says, South Carolina School celebrates Black History Month by having 5th graders pick cotton to slavery songs. No, really. Imagine dropping your 5th grader off at school for the Black History Month field trip that they won't stop talking about, only to turn your TV on afterward and see your child on the local news picking cotton. Erica Poplis is another outraged parent whose daughter attended the same field trip in September. She told ABC News, "When I saw the video, my jaw dropped. I immediately was frustrated, offended, and was like, wow, this is what my baby was doing." Poplis said her daughter, who spent roughly 5 to 10 minutes picking cotton, told her that the children saw the cotton picking as a game because the adults participating in the field trip turned it into a competition between the 5th graders to see who could fill up their sack with the most cotton. Meanwhile, Blanchard told Fox 46, "I think it's making a mockery of slavery, a mockery of what our people went through." And that's exactly what these Edomites are doing to our people. It's making mockery of us, and this is all due to the curses of us going off as a people by breaking the Heavenly Father's laws, statutes, and commandments. And that's talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are the 12 tribes of Israel. And by us disobeying the Heavenly Father's laws, He put these different curses on us. And one of the curses is us being made mockery of. And this is Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and the 37th verse. "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee." And those bywords is anything that's outside of our biblical identity as Israelites from whichever prospective tribe. It says, among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. So no matter we are in America, South America, Central America, Europe, no matter where we are, that spiritual stigma is on our people because we are the Lord's chosen people as Israelites. So He still had that spiritual curse on us. That's that dark cloud you read about in Lamentations, the 2nd chapter and the 1st verse. So no matter where we are, we still gonna be looked at as bywords and proverbs amongst these other nations. That's why they made mockery of us picking cotton, or being lynched, or being on slave ships, or talking ebonics the way they like to say it, And this is Jeremiah 23rd chapter and the 40th verse. "And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you," speaking to the Israelites, "and a perpetual shame, an ongoing shame." So February of 2019, you see 5th graders picking cotton in South Carolina. That's looked at as a shame to the rest of the world. Our people want to continue to forget about our past, and they want to move on in this American way of life. This is Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. He's constantly reminding you, I don't want you to forget. I want you to remember what these other nations did to you as a people, starting with the biblical Edomites. It said, "We should not be forgotten." This is 2 Peter 1 and 12. "Wherefore I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though ye know them, and be established in the present truth. Yea, I think it meet, as long as I am in this tabernacle, to stir you up by putting you in remembrance." And the only ones Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is stirring up is the elect of the nation of Israel. And the elect of the nation of Israel is going to see things like this. That's why we're being constantly reminded of slavery and just how we was just being mistreated as a people from the past. It's being brought out into the light now. So that's why also Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, He's stirring up the minds of the elect by putting the spirit on Esau by creating these movies about slavery. It's a constant reminder of, look what you did to my people. Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is speaking that to our people, mainly the elect. And that's also a law mentioned in Deuteronomy that the Most High said, remember the days of old. It also is mentioned in the book of Ecclesiastes. He said He requires which is past. So he don't want us to forget our history or our past. That's a commandment from the Heavenly Father. All right, this is 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Sin is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And that's starting with the biblical Edomites, the so-called Caucasians today, and also with the other nations, because they took partnership with Esau to further upgrade in this society of our demise. So it's all a partnership deal with these other nations and Esau. And the Most High said, sin is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. From Esau spraying these chemtrails in the air by creating different diseases in their laboratories and being leashed out to the public, from him creating GMOs, which is breaking down your immune system, which can cause cancer and other diseases, from him constantly taxing us, which is called usury according to the scriptures, by his TV programming, by his lies and deceptions he's just constantly doing. So that's troubling us in the spirit. And another major curse is also mentioned in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and 66th verse, how our lives should be hanged in doubt. We should have no assurance of our lives. That's why when Jake see a police behind them or they see a roadblock, they automatically get tensed up in the spirit, and you can have all your stuff, your legal registration with you, but you still get tensed up in the spirit. You still get trouble in the spirit because that's a spiritual stigma according to Deuteronomy 28 chapter 15 verse on down. So it only applies to our people. He's going to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And recompense means pay back. You read Deuteronomy the 30th chapter and the 7th verse, it says all these curses is going to come upon these other nations. So all the curses you see about in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 15th verse on down, all that's going to apply to Esau and our kingdom and the other nations as well. So that's why they're going to receive double for touching the apple of the Heavenly Father's eyes. So it's going to be a payback to them. And that's beautiful, man. That's something we hasten for. That's something we supposed to continue praising Yahweh Shai to hurt and destroy this place so we can be set back up as the rightful owners under the umbrella of Yahweh Shai. So I hope you all will be edified with that. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. I give double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim. Shalom.
When you pick like that, I like it when you feel the sound. I like it when you don't talk time, make money.
South Carolina fifth graders told to sing while picking cotton in a field.
I'm livid right now.
In the middle of Black History Month.
I'm African American and my ancestors pick cotton. Why would I want my son to pick cotton and think it's fun?
This cell phone video shot by a teacher was sent to parents.
Okay.
And brought this mom to tears.
I think it's making a mockery.
A mockery of what?
A mockery of slavery, a mockery of what our people went through.
Jessica Blanchard's 10-year-old son Jamari says he didn't understand what he was singing. Nor did teachers explain how cotton fields were harvested by African American slaves.
Did they talk about this, how slaves used to pick cotton?
No.
A permission slip sent to parents does mention picking cotton as part of a history lesson, not on slavery, but the Great Depression. For 15 years, Rock Hill fifth graders have been coming to the Carroll School, which was built in 1929 by and for African Americans. It now serves as a teaching center for African American history during the Great Depression and is run by Rock Hill Schools. The district calls this, quote, a unique learning opportunity that promotes understanding about our past and helps students make real-life connections.
They thought it was funny.
Jamari says picking cotton was part of a game. He thought it was fun.
It was a contest. Whoever picked the least amount of cotton had to hold the big sack called Big Mama.
There is no race. The kids go out there and they pick, and the Big Mama concept is just it's humor.
81-year-old Wally Cathcart is an instructor here at the Carroll School, where he was also a student in 1943. The son of sharecroppers, this former cotton farmer now shows kids what he and his parents had to do to survive.
We need innovation in the educational system, not just lecturing children, sitting up in a classroom.
School officials say they correct children if they mention slavery, saying this is about the Great Depression. Cathcart calls the lesson living history.
What do you say to people who find this offensive and say that this trivializes slavery?
I certainly love to answer that question because I deal with this issue all the time. One of the problems when it comes to African American people is that they fail to understand history in its proper context, and because of that, we're at a disadvantage today.
I asked why they skip over the history of slaves being forced to pick cotton. That's when district spokesman Michael Frost stopped the interview.
I don't think they should have anyone picking cotton.
As for Blanchard and her son, both support the Carroll School and its mission, but say this history lesson goes too far.
I think it's misguided and maybe ignorance on their part.
In Rock Hill, South Carolina, Matt Grant, Fox 46, Charlotte.